Hello again, I am Blunty. This is the Power A Xbox One controller, Star Wars edition thingy. What is it officially branded? Just the Star Wars Wired controller, Matt Alecville, which is French for some reason. I guess they sell these things in France and Canada as well. But yeah, as you can see, Star Wars pattern, because we've got the new Star Wars movie coming out and everyone's sort of super excited about all that. These came out, or hit shelves, in Australia anyway, about 10 days ago. And I've had one, but those of you who follow me regularly will know that I munged up my hand. I dislocated two fingers on that hand about 2 weeks ago, so I haven't actually been able to use this until the last several days. Well, through four or 5 days, I've been, it's still not perfect, but it's perfect enough to hold a controller. So I've been putting it through its paces and trying it out at last. It's been an awkward, just agonizing wait to just put it through its paces. It's just been sitting on the shelf, staring at me with this little BB-8 face on there, driving me insane. I can't use it. Oh, my hand's kind of all right. I can make a fist. I can use the controller. Here it is. So I'm going to tell you all about this controller. And if you stick with me, you can also win one as well. This one right here. Well, I guess if you really want, you can pick which one you want to win. This one doesn't have a box anymore. I threw the box away. This one is a fresh one in a box that the local distributors, the Power A people, the Bluemouth Interactive people sent me to give away to you guys. But you can choose whichever one you want. If you don't care about the box, I can send you the BB-8 if you like, or you can have the Stormtrooper. Doesn't really matter to me. But stick around to the end of the video and find out how you actually get one of those things. Meanwhile, let's go through the basics of the controller. Okay, so let's take a look at it. First things first, for the sake of comparison and size-wise and everything, here it is next to the original Xbox One controller. Yes, the original one, the one I had to pay extra to get a friggin' the ability to plug in a regular headset. Thanks, Microsoft. Screw you guys. This made me so angry when they did this. So angry. Of course, the new ones have the plugs in them, but that doesn't matter. I'm just angry I had to do that, really. But as you can see, approximately the same size as you'd hope it to be, and it feels kind of similar to hold. It is much, much lighter than this because it is wired, not wireless. So there's no battery, no extra circuitry and stuff like that. But other than that, it's a very, very familiar shape and feel to actually holding it. Everything's laid out exactly the same. Of course it would be. But there are a few differences in the way it feels. Firstly, we'll start with the buttons. These are just a little bit more clicky, I think, than the original Xbox ones. I mean, they're not loud and clicky. They sound about the same, but they have a little more resistance, which I really like, actually. I like a little bit of resistance to the buttons. Same with the lub and rub buttons. Lub and rub. But yeah, they are quite noisy, but they have a really nice feel to them. Again, compared to the ones on this one, these feel quite a bit spongier. They're, these are, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not good with the words today, apparently, but these are nice and clicky. Too loud for my liking, honestly. If I'm going to be honest with you, far too loud. But the feel of them is really nice. It does have the what do they call it? The impulse trigger thing. So it's got the proper Xbox One impulse triggers there, and these feel quite nice too. They sit in a nice position. It does have dual rumble motors, and on the subject of that's why I brought this up before, but I got sidetracked. On the subject of the chat board thingy, it does have just a regular input right on the bottom there, so you can plug your headset directly into the controller. Hooray! The analog sticks feel nice. They've got nice range of motion, very, very smooth. I do like the grip on them too. They have a little knurling around the side, which the official Xbox One doesn't really have. It's got sort of a different kind of knurling. This one is a little bit rougher, I think, and it grips really well. I actually prefer these ones to the ones on this controller, if I'm honest with you. The D-pad, I don't really like that much. It is a little bit too spongy for my liking. I mean, this may or may not be a thing you even care about, because the D-pad is just, it's used in different ways than it used to be. But I'm old school. I'm particular about my D-pads, but it's okay. It's not as awful as the Xbox 360 D-pad, for example, which was a spongy, just a mess. But it's not quite as clicky or sort of nice feeling as the Xbox One proper controller. The rest of the buttons feel really nice, and that's pretty much all there is to say about it, I think. We talked about the buttons and the sticks and the thing, and the other thing we should mention, 3-meter cable. So you've got lots of cable there for going across the room to your Xbox. You'd hope it'd have long cable, because wired controllers need long cable for consoles that sit underneath your TV, and you don't sit underneath your TV. And if you happen to have, kids or siblings or whatnot running around your house, and you're worried about someone tripping over the cable and pulling your Xbox clean off the shelf, because this plugs into the side, not the front, so it doesn't pop out, it has a breakaway joint. Boink! Which is, you've seen on other Power A kind of stuff before. It's the same sort of connector. So that makes life nice and easy, and like you can relax about the cable. So if someone trips over it, just go boink, and just, yeah, lovely. The only thing I don't like about this is Well, aside from the D-pad, I don't love the D-pad, but I was hoping to be able to use this on my PC, because I need a good controller for my PC, because the one I use at the moment is a Logitech piece of crap and I really don't like it at all. But unfortunately, the way the hardware identifies itself, even though it is a fully compatible, fully licensed Xbox One controller, it's all above board. Of course it is, it's PowerA, they do things the right way, but it identifies itself with a different hardware ID than this does, which means the drivers for Windows do not recognize this controller. And I've tried a few different other drivers. I've tried manually selecting a driver. I've tried jumping through a bunch of hoops just to try and get this to work on my PC, and I can't. I just can't. So that made me sad. It's Xbox One only. Maybe, hopefully, cross fingers, in the future, sometime soon, real soon, PowerA will go, hey, well, we should probably make a driver so people can use these on their PC, because I really, really would like to be able to use this on my PC, because it's a nice controller, and I want a nice controller for my PC. I just do. But I think that's about everything I need to tell you about the controller itself. It is just a really nice wide controller with sort of a bold, BB-8. I love the BB-8 pattern on it. This is the white and orange and black. This is why I selected this one for my review unit, basically, because I thought it just looked nice. It looked bright and bold and just... I really like the design. It's not too childish and not too sort of simplistic. It's just nice. But also I wanted to get BB-8 because, well, everyone's going spaz over BB-8. Everyone's going nuts over it. And the BB-8 Sphero toys are selling like just you wouldn't believe. And merchandise with him on it is already selling just bazillions. And we don't know anything about him, really. We know a bit about him from the trailers and some behind-the-scenes stuff. But he could very well be the next Jar Jar Binks for all we know. He could be super annoying. He could be super duper lame. Probably won't be, but he could be. And I'm amused by the fact that people are going nuts for BB-8 merchandise before we even know much about him. I mean, is he going to be as cool as R2-D2? Who knows? But I find it kind of amusing. So that's the other reason I went for the BB-8 one. I think it looks awesome, but also I'm amused by BB-8's premature popularity. So there you have it, a pretty decent little controller. I quite like it. I like wired controllers because they're wired controllers, but the fact is, I do long gaming sessions. Like, I often game for 5, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours at a time, depending on the game. Like, I played Uncharted on the weekend from the Nathan Drake collection, the first one. I sat through it 7.5 hours straight, just in one sitting. Well, except for the first half hour, which I did a video about. But, so wired controllers can come in handy for that because I don't have to worry about the batteries. I actually had to have my PS4 controller plugged in pretty much the entire time, so the battery didn't go flat, because the PS4 controller battery is lame, because it has a light on it that you can't turn off and all that sort of stuff. But that's a completely different rant for a completely different video. You want to know how you win one of these? Firstly, drop a comment. Let me know which one you want to win, because like I said, I'm happy to send you the one I've been using. Doesn't have a box, but I'm happy to send it to you if you prefer the BB-8, or you can have the Stormtrooper one. It's up to you. Just drop a comment and let me know which one you want. But the question you have to answer in the comment to have a valid entry for this competition is, what is your favourite Star Wars character, and do you think BB-8 will be a contender to replace them? Because from what we've seen so far, BB-8 seems like a fan favourite. I mean, the toys are already selling bazillions, even though we know basically nothing about him. He's in like 45 seconds of trailer total from the 3 or 4 trailers that we've seen. He could, like I said, he could very well be the next Jar Jar Binks. We don't know, but he seems to be popular so far. But he probably will be awesome. Probably will be awesome. We're probably all going to fall in love with him. We're probably all going to have arguments about who's more fun, BB-8 or R2-D2. It's the internet, it's the forums, it's geeks and Star Wars nerds and stuff. We're going to argue about who we like best, but you got to tell me who your favourite Star Wars character is and why, and which one you want to win. But I think that just about covers everything I wanted to say, including a few bits and pieces of ramble that I didn't really want to say, but I said anyway. Thank you for watching. Do the thing with the buttons if you enjoy this video, or appreciate me when I get to give away stuff. I love giving away stuff. It gets you guys off your asses and actually leaving comments for a change. That helps. I give away free stuff. I've got some more free stuff around here too, so subscribe if you haven't already, because there are more freebies coming. I've got literally a bag full of freebies. They're all the same type of freebie, but there's a bag full of freebies you may want to stick around for. Does that sound needy? Am I trying to bribe you at this point? Please subscribe. I'll give you stuff. It's not really how I operate. I just love giving things away because it's fun. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling now. Thank you for watching. I am Blunty. We'll catch you next time, and do the thing. Wish I hadn't done that.